I got a request from a client recently and they wanted to build an AI agent that pulls data directly from a live website. And they're not talking about using a PDF, they're not talking about pre-ingested document embeddings, etc., etc. They're just saying that pick this data live from a website. And honestly, that's a very simple request. Now, but that opened like a three different distinct ways of building this as I was thinking more on this. So I wanted to share this in this video. What are the three different options and when to use what? So you don't have to figure it out the hard way. So the question was, how do I pull line information from a website? And as I said, there are three distinct ways to build this. Now let's look at the first approach. The first approach is going to be a simple Python program. Now in this, you will use a library like Beautiful Soup, request, HTTPX. You can choose any library you want. As long as you have the URL, you know which website to hit, you can use this. You can write a simple function, use this library, get the content, parse it out, and send it to the agent. So it's very simple. There is no external dependency in this. And for my use case, I specifically use this, but we're going to look at the other options also. So the second option is Tavily. Tavily is usually not my first choice when I already know the website I want to hit. Tavily shines when I have to search on a certain phrase or an open-ended question, similar to how you do a Google search. Now think about this like you are giving an agent a search engine. Now it's great for discovery, it's great for open-ended questions. And that's when you may want to use Tavily. As far as searching on a specific URL or a known website, Tavily does have that option. But remember, Tavily is not 100% free. They do offer a generous credit of like 1,000 or something, but after that, it's a paid subscription. So you have to make that choice when you are using Tavily. For me, if the use case is about asking open-ended questions or discovery, then I would use Tavily. So the third option is browser agent. This is what you want to use when your agent wants to navigate directly to a website, fill out forms, and do all kinds of action on a browser like a human would do. Under the hood, it is powered by automation frameworks like Selenium and Playwright, and we have been using all this for almost 10 plus years. It comes in two flavors. One is headless and the other one is headed. Headless does not have a visible window. All the actions happens behind the scenes. It's like the agent is doing all the task in the background and then giving you a summary of results, what happened in the end with the final output. Headed, on the other hand, uses a proper visible browser window. It's just like you're watching a movie. Things are just happening right in front of your eyes. It would search for a flight and give you results, and then you can take the next set of action. Now, here is my take. If your use case is JavaScript heavy, you have to fill out large amount of forms in a web page, complex navigations, multi-step flows, then your choice would be to use browser agents. So there is no one single tool that fits your use case. So as an example, if you have like a fixed URL and if your web page is static, then you may want to go for a Python function. If you're doing a web search, then you may want to go for Tavily. And if you are performing complex JavaScript operation on a web page, then you may want to go for browser agents. No single tool that fits your use case. You want to pick the best one that matches your problem. Now the next segment is like, let's say you have this content and you want to give this content to the agent. You just don't directly dump this whole raw HTML to the agent. Now here are the 6 best practices you may want to follow before you give this output to the agent. So number 1 is clean it first. Now, raw HTML can be huge. It can have a lot of noise. So you may want to clean it out. You may want to get rid of those navigation bars. You want to get rid of those ads, those headers, footers. And there are a few Python libraries which I would recommend. One is Tafinatura Readability LXML, which does a good job when cleaning up this whole HTML. The second important thing you may want to do is truncate intelligently. Now, web pages can be massive and it can burn out your context window. So, get the right content from the raw HTML and then use that as the output. The next one is add source metadata. So add source metadata like URL, the retrieval timestamp, the page title. Now helps this model ground its response and cite sources properly. Number 4, structure your tool output. Always use like a structured JSON output to get the output, not just like a raw text out to the agent. You may want to add a dictionary and add attributes like source, retrieve, add content, and other important information what you want to add. Number 5, handle freshness. Now, live web beta can go stale. If you're hitting the website again and again, consider having a short-lived TTL cache so that this guarantees freshness and at the same time so you're not hammering the website again and again. So number 6, fail gracefully. Sites goes down, structure changes. You get 403s. Your tool should be able to handle this and give a proper message that the agent can interpret. You don't want to give Python stack trace that confuses the model. So get this 6 things right and your agent will always have a clean, structured, trustworthy content to work with. Now, one simple client request led me down to this rabbit hole, and honestly, that's how it works in production. You get a problem, you think about all the options, and you pick the right tool, and then you make sure that you're feeding your agent with a clean, structured, well-sourced content. Now, if you're building agents and tools, you are going to hit the exact scenario. And now you understand, now you know how to think about it. Now, drop your questions in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.